Tyrael has asked you to confront Izual the Fallen? He must have great faith in your abilities. I trust you know what you're doing. Be careful. You're our last hope.
This is the story of the Fallen Angel and the quest's original appearance in Diablo 2. Our story picks up after tepidly stepping through the infernal gate in Mephisto's lair, and takes us from beneath Kurast to the otherworldly bastion known as the Pandemonium Fortress. Upon arrival in this strange floating landmass between worlds, we see the Archangel Tyrael in a great hall, hovering by a large fire adorned with various weapons and ornaments of battles of yore. He then relays somber news, saying,
"It is good to see you again, hero. Mephisto's defeat is a great victory for the light. I knew that you would eventually find your way here. The Pandemonium Fortress is the last bastion of heaven's power before the gates of the burning hells. This place has been hallowed by the blood of thousands of champions of the light, many of whom were mortal like yourself. Now, the final battle against the prime evils draws near, and you must face it alone. I have been forbidden to aid you directly, save for a few bits of wisdom. For this is the hour of mortal man's triumph, your triumph. May the light protect you and the powers of heaven shine upon your path." There is a dark, tortured soul who was trapped within this forsaken realm long ago. He was called Izual by mortal men, and in ages past he was my most trusted lieutenant. Yet, against my wishes, he led an ill-fated assault upon the fiery Hellforge itself. Despite his valor and strength, Izual was captured by the prime evils and twisted by their perverse power. They forced him to betray his own kind and give up heaven's most guarded secrets. He became a corrupt shadow of his former self, a fallen angel, trusted neither by heaven nor hell. For his transgressions, Izual's spirit was bound within the form of a terrible creature, which was summoned from the abyss. His maddened spirit has resided within that tortured husk for many ages now. It seems to me that he has suffered long enough. I implore you, hero, find Izual and release him from his cruel imprisonment. Put an end to his guilt and suffering.
After initiating the quest, our journal updates telling us we can find Izual in the Plains of Despair, and we cannot help but wonder what possibly could sway an angel to turn on his brethren. More tragically, Tyrael's own trusted lieutenant, who can never fully be trusted again by heaven nor hell, yet has betrayed the light and reportedly taken heaven's most guarded secrets with him. And Tyrael further recalls,
"Though Izual no longer carries the angelic runeblade, Azurath, he may still possess great strength and power within his new form. Also, he may not be able to tell friend from foe while in his present state. If you find him, he will almost certainly be hostile. Proceed with the utmost caution."
It should be noted, this is the same Izual who appeared as a demonic incarnation in our Diablo 1 cut content video, carrying the fabled angelic runeblade Azurath, but was removed from the final game. And before the angels of the Diablo universe were cemented in our collective consciousness as beings with unseeable features and wings comprised of light, Chris Metzen famously sketched Izual's downfall in some Diablo 1 art, with the former angel resembling a more biblical take on angelic beings being dragged to hell by demons during his untimely capture. As we begin our quest and head down some stairs, we see two mysterious NPC merchants, Halbu, a warrior of unshakable faith,
"What do you need?"
and Jamela,
"Hail to you, champion."
the armored mage. Both are mortals who reportedly had come to the fortress with the explicit intent of helping the heroes, though never offer advice or opinions on any further quests. And while we cannot glean any information from them directly, interestingly, as a part of Diablo trivia and history, Jamela has a peculiar at-rest animation. She reads from a book concentrates for a moment, and then sketches a glowing rune word in the air. They aren't legible letters in English or any other language, and Diablo fans have tried to decipher those letters, but the official word from Blizzard was that they are unfortunately meaningless. They're just some symbols that the artist had made up. And it was also revealed in the supplement for Diablo's D&D edition called To Hell and Back that Jamela actually had serious doubts as to whether mortals could defeat the Lord of Terror, but kept them to herself. And lucky for us, she did. As we begin our search for the errant aberration known as Izual, we step down the winding stairs with Oblivion waiting for us if we make a single misstep, and pause to see the bottom of the fortress is wrapped with great chains binding fallen victims of wars long forgotten to its breast. As a cruel reminder, this is the grounds of a bloody eternal conflict, with both sides bound to the ground, as are its victims. As we move into the outer steps, we see a great gate, further punctuated with fresh gore and chains holding it in place, and a pillar with trapped souls bound to a spike, which we release from their accursed limbo. It's sometime in the bone-strewn wastes before we encounter our first enemies, the corpulents, sickly, fleshy beings who eat carrion of the dead and spit it as their own grotesque attacks. After facing the first pack of foes, we are then pounced upon by venom lords who surround us, breathing fire in chorus and burning our health down before dying in plumes of flame. Then we see the ever-lurking Doom Knights. We've heard stories of Doom Knights being undead warriors, said to attempt to fulfill the prophesied death of any being so fated by chance, fate, or at the order of a prime evil. And it's at the eastern end of the outer steps we finally find the entrance to the winding steps into the Plains of Despair, and are met by red, almost flame-like beings called Burning Souls, said to hate the living. These floating, semi-ethereal monsters are widely dreaded for their potent lightning bolt attacks. As they are transparent, they can be hard to see when they move between attacks, all the while popping to and fro and spewing chains of lightning. After much wandering through the plains, dealing with waves of enemies, we happen upon a cross-like structure, and seeking a moment of respite, we unfortunately find none. Instead, we're ambushed by two more burning souls, and then a Doom Knight beckons to his skeletal chums with an approximation of their own guard dogs, champion flesh spawners. These disturbing demons that crawl on two sets of hands are female in appearance, with a set of breasts, pointy and limp, and a demon's head atop their grotesque torso. With a long spine for a tail, they actively birth the flesh beasts, the very same the Wanderer conjured outside Kurast. We're wise to contend with the flesh beasts' mothers before stamping out any remnants of these fiends as the guts spill all over the hovering stone slab underfoot. After dealing with more scores of ethereal ghosts lingering on the battlefield and looking to snuff out the stench of life, we unsuspectingly happen upon a giant blue mega demon out in the open who grunts before immediately setting upon us. Our quest updates telling us to destroy the demonic vessel holding Izual. Surprised at his remark, we're put on the back foot momentarily. However, we're vulnerable in the open to more monsters attacking, so we begin frantically racing backwards, searching for the previously cleared cross-shaped building, where we may be able to lure the demon and have some chance to face him one-on-one. And as we make it into the cross-like structure, we move to the north end and frantically dive into a town portal before he can pounce on us. After gathering some much-needed supplies, we speak to Tyrael, who urges,
"You mustn't delay, mortal hero. Izual must be put to rest, but Diablo still lurks within this realm. Go now. Hurry."
Deckard Cain then speaks of what he knows of Tyrael's involvement of the greatest schemes at hand, as well as Izual, saying,
Having trouble finding the fallen angel, eh? You'd better hurry. It's beginning to feel like some great evil is permeating the air around here. I have read much about the enigmatic archangel Tyrael. He was revered in Horadrim lore, both for his compassion for mortals and his unquenchable spirit. It was rumored that he went against the wishes of heaven and gave the Herodrum the original soul stones in order to trap Diablo and his brothers.
Although Tyrael is no doubt a great angel for helping humanity, albeit indirectly at this point, and trapping the greater evils, we cannot help but wish he would be by our side when we put down this rogue angel. But to kill your kin must be a morbid thought for poor Tyrael. We step once more through the portal to see a Doom Lord and dispatch them with ease. And once more, Izual urges us, saying,
"Save yourself."
However, still maddened, lunges at us with waves of Frost Nova and his giant sword. Izual, although his cold, biting sword is deadly and Frost Nova makes him more than formidable, boasts an extraordinarily large health pool, and a war of attrition begins as we trade blow for blow, saved only by our sash that stops us from being frozen. His maddened eyes bore into ours, and we feel the pinch of tension creep up into our stomach, knowing we may run out of healing potions long before putting a dent in the behemoth of a demon. As we battle the fallen angel, upon closer inspection we see Izual is similar looking to a mega demon with golden armor, 3 horns, a pair of tusks, a blue hide, a short spiked tail, and with slightly shorter wings, yet quicker foot compared to his contemporaries. As the battle drags on, we attempt to find sure footing away from being edged into the abyss and are mobbed unceremoniously by a trio of Doom Lords. Now, with a gaggle of foes to contend with, we say our prayers, yet somehow, against all odds, burn down the skeletal warriors, and in tandem, thanks to our zeal, Izual himself, who bursts into a cascade of holy energies released from his fleshy prison, and our quest updates directing us to speak to his corporeal spirit freed from its cage, to which he reveals,
Tyrael was a fool to have trusted me. You see, it was I who told Diablo and his brothers about the Soul Stones and how to corrupt them. It was I who helped the Prime Evils mastermind their own exile to your world. The plan we set in motion so long ago cannot be stopped by any mortal agency. Hell itself is poised to spill forth into your world like a tidal wave of blood and nightmares. You and all your kind are doomed.
What treachery is this? It was Izual, Tyrael's own trusted lieutenant, who betrayed not only man, but his brothers too, and is less a victim of a botched assault, but more a willing ally of the forces of hell. Whatever his motive is unknowable, but as we turn away from his spirit, it fades, and
how can one who was once so holy fall so far from righteousness?
We hold the unenviable task of speaking to Tyrael of his former brother's treasonous act. Portaling back to the Pandemonium Fortress, Deckard Cain approaches us, saying,
"You're lucky to be alive, my friend. It is imperative that you find and stop Diablo. You should speak of this with Tyrael. He will know what to make of this."
Although we know we must contend with Diablo, we then see Tyrael and give him the grave news.
Thank you, hero, for putting Izual's tortured spirit to rest. May the light protect you and the powers of heaven shine upon your path. But if what you tell me is true, then I fear that we have been played for fools all along. Izual helped Diablo and his brothers trick me into using the Soul Stones against them. Now the stones' powers are corrupted. With the combined powers of the Soul Stones under their control, the Prime Evils will be able to turn the mortal world into a permanent outpost of hell.
With that, the quest of the fallen angel is complete. We cannot help but feel for Tyrael, as this is dire news for the light and humanity as we know it, with Sanctuary poised to become an outpost of hell itself, and perhaps at the hands of an angel to boot. That's it for the video. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with my upcoming lore videos out most weekdays at 7 PM PST. And if you want to further the conversation, my social accounts are linked. I love to chat. We have a brand new Discord to celebrate lore, and we'll be running a Diablo 4 guild in which all are welcome. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Traveler.